normalize giving up on people who give up on themselves, but most importantly, normalize not fighting for people who won't even fight for themselves. Why your world is yours. Does that even make sense? To fight for a person who's not even willing to fight for themselves, to ride for a person that's not even willing to ride for themselves. Why your world is yours. So many people, when you really pay attention to life, are expecting somebody else to handle their business for them, to fight life for them, to do the fighting for them, want to be protected, want to be taken care of, want somebody else to be responsible for them. And the origin of this thought comes from all the individuals who sit there and wallow in this pitiful ass energy, in this moist ass energy. And they think that individuals like myself will get into a back and forth as if we need them to succeed. This is the problem with most people. They've gotten into relational paradigms with individuals who beg and plead with them for being better people. It's like the parent who has the rebellious adolescent or the rebellious teenager who's going through that phase, and the mom is like, I'm begging you, John, I'm begging you, Matt, like, please stop being such a piece of shit, you're hurting my heart. And then Matt's like, oh, I'm fucking smoke this weed. You know, John's like, I'm gonna keep drinking this liquor, fuck you, mom. You know, like, because what you end up doing is validating them. They take on a role and an identity of executing or exercising some form of power, whatever the fuck they want to call it. I wouldn't call it power, I'll call it stupidity. Because at the end of the day, they're really digging themselves deeper into a fucked up life. But when you go back and forth with dummies, their refutation and them saying no to your begging and pleading, or you putting energy into them, validates them even more. So they dig their heels deeper into their stupidity, or they'll dig their heels deeper into their victim mentality. It's like an individual who says, oh, I want to commit suicide, I want to kill myself, I hate my life. Like, so you know how to go buy a gun, right? You know how to load a clip. You only need one bullet. A lot of people talk about they wanted to commit suicide and they failed at an attempt. If you can't even kill yourself, what the fuck can you do? So like I said, you can't just like go, I'm not advocating for suicide. I'm just saying, if you're gonna go talk about doing something and take up somebody else's mind, their time, their energy, to communicate them this fucking whack ass energy about you wanting to clip yourself, you could just go clip yourself in peace. We'll find you later, pick up the mess and go put you where you need to be put and have our lives go on the way it needs to go on. But this is the thing. People have these victim mentalities, and what they like is negative attention more than anything. Once you recognize that an individual becomes a negative attention trap, you fall the fuck back. So what is the premise of this message? The premise of this message is normalize giving up on people who give up on themselves, but normalize not fighting for people who won't even fight for themselves. If you won't even fight for yourself, the fuck I look like fighting for you? It's like, even if you was in a pen, if you was booked, niggas ain't fighting for you if you're not willing to fight for yourself. Handle your business, you feel me? So whatever you are, it's so many levels to this shit. It's so many levels to this shit. But the bottom line is, if you're not willing to ride for yourself, if you're not willing to be responsible for yourself, if you're not willing to step up for yourself, then you have no place amongst those individuals who are putting themselves on the front line, who are showing up every day in the best way. You don't deserve to be around people. And in fact, this is when we cut you off, leave you to your own shit, and move on. But then they bitch, and then they complain. Nobody loves me. Everybody's betraying me. Shut the fuck up. You's a bitch. You wasn't ready to fight for yourself. You wasn't ready to lace up for yourself. You wasn't ready to be more for yourself. You just wanted everybody else to take care of you, to feed you, to be responsible for you. And this is the bottom line of this infantile mentality. Whatever you are, your world is yours. Pay attention. Too many people in this world have this false concept that people have to give a fuck about them. No, we don't. And as I see all these individuals who are in these lesser states and conditions that they're apparently aware of, but to be aware and to not change, to know and to not do better, is actually the antithesis of intelligence, right? So if you knew better but didn't do better, that means you were conscious of the ability and the need to do better, but you didn't do better, so you did less and did worse, despite knowing that better was needed to be done. This is why, like, it's all of this fucking circuitous talking to just comprehend inferior shit. Whatever you why your world is yours. All these individuals fail to recognize that nobody gives a fuck about them. And at the end of the day, if you're willing to be less, nobody has to care. We move on accordingly. Consider the vibrations raised. Evolution has always been the only solution. Self-mastery, only success. If you're not being responsible over your own existence, then don't expect anybody else to be responsible over your existence. And the bottom line is understanding fundamentally that nobody's going to fight for you if you're not going to fight for you. People don't have to care, and people like myself will not care. You think we're going to go back and forth with you like, please be a better person, while you sit there and satisfy yourself to be a piece of shit and get the validation? Nah, we leave you to your own shit. If you feel like being a piece of shit, or if you're okay with being a piece of shit, then go ahead and be a piece of shit. It's as simple as that. You have time. Motivation, what is that? Motivation, what is that? So you're motivated to be less? What is that? We're stopping the trying to wrap our minds around the inferior mentality, because at the end of the day, it is the inferior mentality, and we don't even have seconds or energy to waste on looking to comprehend this shit even further. DM me on Instagram, click the link in this description for you to get on the program. Start living your life and start being the person that you always needed. It's as simple as that. And then from there, just elevate your life to the place where you really want it to be. But all these individuals with this self-pity, and they know their lives are fucked up, and they know they don't really love or respect themselves, and they're fake depressed, because the only reason you're depressed is because you're not living what you're really truly being called to live. You're living the life that you don't want to live, despite knowing the life that you do want to live. So if you just switch gears and started being responsible, stood up, got on your own fucking hind legs, had a backbone, had a heart, had 2 nuts and some guts, then maybe you would actually not feel depressed, because you would be living the highest level of your personal expression. Whatever you why your world is yours. Fundamentally, at the end of the day, let these people be who they are. Let these people lose in life. Let these people fail in life. Let these people give up on themselves. Let these people get their ass beat by life, because they're going to sit there and drain your energy thinking that somebody owes them motivation or owes them a back and forth about anything. If you're okay with getting your ass beat by life, then go ahead and keep getting your ass beat by life. If you feel like life's a bitch and she's out here bullying the shit out of you, and you getting your ass kicked every day, and you showing up to life every day, and life is the bully bitch, and you showing up to school every day, and she's running your pockets, and she's fucking you up, and she's stuffing you in lockers, and you fucked up in life. This is all metaphor, you know what I'm saying? But if you feel like life is just beating the shit out of you, and you okay being a herb, then that's perfectly fine with us, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you are. If you don't fight back for you, we ain't fighting for you. Nobody gonna fight for you more than you should fight for yourself. And when you got a squad of people who show up resilient, who are willing to fight for themselves, basically be able to really show up for themselves, and then collaborate with other individuals who are showing up for themselves in the best way possible all the fucking time, then you have a squad of people who can actually fight for each other. But if you have one person who's fighting for themselves and the other person isn't fighting for themselves, then you only got one person fighting for 2 people. It's already a loss. Consider the vibrations raised. No liabilities, only assets. No motivation, only self-love and self-respect. And it's as simple as that. Don't ever get it twisted. Like, I'm not advocating for anybody unaliving themselves, but like I said, man, if you can't even pull that off effectively, then what the fuck can you do? Like, it's really not that difficult. You over here taking our mind, taking our attention, taking our energy. Like, if you was really that dead ass about it, go do it. Like I said, you know how to go get that thing, how to go put that thing in that thing, how to put that thing right. Don't do this one. Is he advocating? No. He's just demonstrating the principle behind, if you're too incompetent to pull it on yourself, and you talking to other people about how you want to pull it on yourself, you're just a negative attention black hole. It's just what it is. Consider the vibrations raised. The principle behind me explaining all of that is not the advocating or advocation of unaliving yourself. No. It's the fact that you want negative attention, because if you were dead ass about anything, you'd have got it done. And all these people who had these failed attempts at life, like, oh, so you're incompetent, and you're so incompetent that that's the funniest thing I ever heard. Somebody who tried to kill themselves. That's crazy. So now you got to live knowing that you can't even kill yourself. That's crazy. That's crazy. Consider the vibrations raised. Evolution, only solution. Self-mastery, only success. Normalize giving up on people who give up on themselves. Normalize not fighting for people who won't fight for themselves. If they want to get their ass beat every day, let them get their ass beat every day. You want to learn how to defend yourself in life? That's how life is. You want to learn how to prosper against the conditions of existence, right? Your will, your mind, your self. against the conditions of existence, then step up. We know what we're doing. We've been that. Consider the vibrations raised.